Hello, my dear children and parents. Welcome to class 8 of Indus Valley Public School RAT, where we will be doing poem 4 from your Honeydew book, and the name of the poem is The Last Bargain, composed by Rabindranath Tagore. Before we move to the poem, I would like to ask you, what is bargain? How many of you heard about the word bargain? I think many of you, whenever you go to the market, you will ask for something, and shopkeeper will say some amount, then you will say some amount to be depreciated or less amount. Generally, we used to see, when our parents or when our elderly people go to the market and purchase the things. So that thing is bargain. We can say bargain is a deal, is a negotiation. That means a thing against another thing. Okay? If we are taking that thing, we are offering something, some negotiation will be there. Okay? So in this poem also, we will be seeing speaker has been bargained with many of the things, but for him, all these things were useless. They were of no use. They did not contain any kind of worthiness. For him, everything was a waste. So, before we start with the poem, I'll let you know what are the main characters in the poem. First, a man is there, a king is there, an old man is there, a lady is there, and a child is there. Total 5 characters is there. Last is misprint, 4 is written, it's 5. So total 5 characters is there. A man is the speaker of the poem, with whom too many bargain will be done. Let's see who will be the successful person to win his bargain. Okay. So here we will be reading about the poet. Name of the poet is Rabindranath Tagore. I think everyone is familiar about Rabindranath Tagore. He belongs to Bengal. So Rabindranath Tagore was born in Calcutta on 6th of May 1861. He received his education at his own home and later at University College, London. He was a poet, dramatist, novelist, short story writer, a philosopher, and a nation builder. He founded a school at Shanti Niketan in West Bengal, which later expanded into an international university known as the Vishwa Bharati. He even created a new form of music which is known as Ravindra Sangeet. He is the author of Indian national anthem Jana Gana Man. He died in Calcutta on 7th of August 1941. So this is about Rabindranath Tagore. Now children, moving towards the poem. Before I start, I'll give you a brief introduction of the poem. The Last Bargain, composed by Rabindranath Tagore, is a soulful poem, and in this poem the speaker is telling about the worthlessness of worldly things, power and beauty. These things are entailed by every human on earth and is trying to achieve all these things, all these 3 things. But for the speaker, every material thing on earth is mortal, no life, and not everlasting. Different people come to him with different types of worldly things. However, the speaker rejects them one by one. Finally, he makes a bargain with nothing, which symbolizes the free spirit. He did not want to be in capture of anything. He wanted to be a free person. The poem conveys a strong message, well, needed for the materialistic world, that no power, money, or lust can make us happy. Simplicity and innocence are the most supreme of all. So why money, power, or anything can't make us unhappy? Because a day will come when all these things are having an end. But if we are happy, and from our thought, from ourselves, from our simplicity, from innocence, then, and if our spirit is free from all these worldly things, then only we are happy. Because our happiness, our own happiness, it does not have any end. But one day your money is going to end, one day your power is going to end, one day your lust is going to end. But your own inner happiness will not end ever unless you want it. So this thing is we are going to study in the poem The Last Bargain. So my dear children, this poem is divided into 4 parts, or you can say stanza, with different number of lines. We will discuss the poem line by line and I'll give you the meaning. Okay, so here we go with the poem. Before we start, some introduction is there in your poem. A bargain is an agreement in which both parties promise to do something for each other. Someone is looking for work, waiting to be hired. He strikes a bargain but thinks it worthless. He tries twice again but doesn't like either. Finally, in the last bargain, when he is hired for nothing, whatever, he is happy as never before. What is the bargain and why is it the best? Okay, so here we will be learning which bargain was accepted by the speaker and why he accepted, and for him why it was the best bargain. Okay, so here comes the first part. Come and hire me, I cried while in the morning I was walking on the stone paved road. So here, sword in hand, the king came in his chariot. He held my hand and said, I will hire you with my power. But his power counted for naught, and he went away in his chariot. So in this stanza, the speaker says that one day while he was walking on the stone paved road in the morning, that means he was walking on a road, that time king came in his chariot. This means king came on his you can say horse wala vehicle, or in that vehicle, and he was having a sword in his hand. And seeing him, the speaker pleaded the king to hire him. So now speaker is saying, just give me some work. So now in this, what happened, it was the morning time, that symbolizes hope and courage, because every morning whenever we get up, it's a new morning. We hope something new, we have some different thoughts, some different kinds of courage to do something. So similarly, it is a morning time that symbolizes hope and courage. So the poet seems to be hopeful, and the stone paved road, it means difficult road, difficult path. And so what happened, the speaker is asking to the king that he needs something very badly, and he asks the king to hire him. Hire means that want to get what the king has, means something he can give, whatever the king is having he can give to that person, means speaker. Speaker को कुछ चाहिए जो कि king के पास है. So king holds the hand of the speaker and said that, so he is like holding and said that he will hire him with his power, वो अपने power के साथ. power seemed to be not means nothing or worthless to the speaker, because it is not everlasting. The king will die, and so his power will. So why it is said that till the time king is alive, till that time his power will work. But once king will not be there, then who is going to save him? So the speaker is not satisfied with what king offered him. He rejects the offer, and the king goes away in his chariot. The speaker describes his first struggle to get something that failed. So speaker rejected the offer of the king, and the offer was what? That king is going to hire the speaker with his part, but the speaker rejected it. Why? Because it is not for everlast. It will not last forever. When the king will die, his power is going to end at that point of time. Now coming to the next stanza. Now moving ahead to the next stanza. So now it's the afternoon time. Let's see what happened. In the heat of the midday, the houses stood with shut doors. I wandered along the crooked lane. An old man came out with his bag of gold. He pondered and said, I will hire you with my money. He weighed his coins one by one, but I turned away. So my dear children, in this stanza it is told that the daytime and it's very hot outside, the door of houses are closed. So here the speaker is wandering along the crooked lane. Crooked lane means bent or uneven road. Okay. Thus, so in the previous stanza, we have seen that stone-paved road was there. That was full of difficulties. So here it is also an uneven road, because afternoon time, it's also very hot. So now an old man comes out of his house along with a bag of gold. That is, huge wealth was there. He pondered, that means thought very carefully, and finding that the speaker is in need of something, and he offers him money and says that he will hire him with his wealth. So who is going to hire? The old man is going to hire the speaker from his wealth. The old man, in order to show how wealthy, he start counting his gold coins one by one. However, the power of king, the wealth of old seemed to be worthless, because it could not make the old man young again, nor it could make the climate cool. The speaker understands that wealth is not something which he needs, because like power, it does not remain in one hand forever. He wants something else and thus goes away. So here again the offer given by the old man is rejected by the speaker. Why? Because he at that point of time it was a hot time, and the speaker wants something cold should be given to him. That gold coins offered by the old man will not give him coolness. Then second thing, gold coins will not remain forever with him. Today he is having, some other day somebody else will be having, and one day these old gold coins, all gold coins is going to finish. They will not last forever. Then after that what he will do? Again he will become sad. So he rejected that offer too. Children, we have read two stanza. Let us discuss the poetic devices. Okay. So here not much more poetic devices are there. Symbolic poem it is. So like come to the second line, was walking, alliteration is there, and held my hand. Held my hand, fourth line, HH alliteration is there. Okay. And the second stanza, you can see there last two lines. He pondered and said, I will hire you with my money. He weighed his coins one by one, but I turned away. So, anaphora in these two lines, and one by one again alliteration is there. Okay, this is there. Understood the poem? Coming to the next stanza. Next, it's an evening time. Let's see what happening in the evening. It was evening. The garden hedge was all flower. The fair maid came out and said, I'll hire you with a smile. Her smile paled and melted into tears, and she went back alone into the dark. Now, it is the evening time, and the garden hedge means fences or boundary, is a full of flower. You can say it's a blooming with flower. All the boundaries was covered with flowers. So the garden was looking very beautiful and in a very blooming way. A beautiful lady, a fair lady, comes out and says that she wants to hire the speaker with a smile, with her beauty. Her smile represents the beauty of the lady. The speaker finds that, like the king's power and the old man's wealth, her beauty is not everlasting. So soon the smile of that lady is paled and melted into tears. That means gone, and she also goes back into the dark. Dark here symbolizes hopelessness, and the speakers do not want hopelessness. So why? Here it means that the speaker understands that a smile that made her look beautiful is fake and not everlasting. It has hidden sorrow of the lady. The day is over, but the speaker fails to make a bargain. However, he has patience and persistence. He does not give up. So now, till this time, speaker received 3 bargains, 3 offers. First from the king with the power, old man with the wealth, fair lady with a smile, that means from her beauty, and all these things were rejected because these things will not last for him forever. Now, let's see what happened in the last stanza. So, it's coming to the next stanza. The sun glistened on the sand, and the sea waves broke waywardly. A child sat playing with shells. He raised his head and seemed to know me and said, I'll hire you with nothing. From henceforward that bargain struck in child's play made me a free man. So now here who comes? A child. So now in the stanza what happened? The new day come with a new hope and courage for the speaker. Again the new day was there. He is at the seashore. Who is at the seashore? The speaker. And the sun was shining on the sand and the sea waves breaking waywardly. Waywardly means in an unpredictable way. So it represented here, the speaker symbolizes his love and appreciation for the nature. So here what is symbolized? It is symbolized in this stanza. The speaker is producing his love for the nature and appreciation for the nature. So now he finds a child sitting on the seashore and he was playing with shells. I think everybody have seen the shells. Look at the picture. I'll show you the picture. See here. See. This is the picture. This child is playing with the shell. Okay. Fine. So now let's see. So now what happened? The child is sitting on the seashore and playing with the shell. So this is a symbolic again. What kind of symbol is here? It is an image that the child has no desire for power or wealth or beauty. He is free from all these things which make the man a servant. Because here the man himself goes to the child. The child raises his head and sees the speaker. It looks to the speaker that the child knows him. Seeing the speaker in a quest means search for something, the child offers to hire him with nothing. So now child is saying that nothing means he did not have anything. He will not give you anything, means child will not give you anything. That speaker, the person is free to join him if he wants. So here nothing symbolizes, that means freedom, liberty, independence and free from desire. That means child did not want anything. The speaker is free to join the child. He can play with him if he wants. He will not give anything. Who will not give anything? The child. Because he is saying, I do not have anything. So here the speaker is not bound to give anything in return. Here freedom will be everlasting, liberty will be everlasting, independence will be everlasting, and he is free from the desire. So speaker understands that this is what he was longing, he wanted for since long. He accepts the child's offer, and from henceforth, from that day, the speaker finds freedom in the child's play and thus becomes a free man. This was the ultimate destination of the speaker. So here the message, or you can say the moral of the poem, is that power, wealth and beauty are worthless. They cannot give joy to the soul. The soul of a man needs freedom and liberty. It does not want to be imprisoned by worldly pleasure which are in actual fake. So the speaker finds innocence, truth and real joy in what the child offers, and thus accept his offer. After accepting the child's offer, the speaker feels like a free man. Okay? So overall we can say that power, money and beauty all are worthless. One day all these things will come to an end, but self-satisfaction, self-freedom, for which each and every person is longing, want to have, and if that thing comes, then he will be free from worldly pains and sorrows, and he will find liberty and peace in becoming a free man, like the child wants a reader to be like him in order to attain peace. So my dear children, this is all there in the poem. So read the poem again, go through the explanation. If any doubt, please do come and ask me. Please do call me up and ask me. Okay? So bye-bye and take care. Thank you so much.